Well, it was on the 8th of February last year when Lenny Scott was gunned down outside that gym in Skelmersdale.
Hi there, and thank you to everybody for joining me in yet another video back at the channel Just Gone Viral. If you're new here, we'd like to cover crime and news, give analysis, and also bring you information that sometimes the mainstream media won't always tell you. So please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into the video.
And it's the prosecution's case that at the very least, the individual who organised that shooting was Elias Morgan. They also believe he was the one who pulled the trigger. The motive for murder, they say, came some 4 years before.
In this video, we bring you a crime news report update surrounding a 33-year-old prison officer who lost his life, called Lenny Scott. He lost his life as part of a revengeful attack that was a personal vendetta from a criminal underworld boss, previously 4 years before Lenny Scott lost his life. This was all over a mobile phone, which might seem insignificant, but for this we have to go right back to the very beginning for it to make sense. In 2020, a 39-year-old woman by the name of Sarah Williams of Kingsway, Widnes, admitted 3 charges of misconduct in a public office. She worked as a prison officer who had inappropriate relationships with 3 prisoners to links to serious organised crime gangs. Sarah Williams, who worked at Liverpool HMP Alt Course, fell into the traps and arms of sophisticated criminals, her lawyer said. She was sentenced to 18 months in prison at Liverpool Crown Court. But Williams, who became a prison officer in 2019, also pleaded guilty to causing a computer to perform a function to secure unauthorised access to data or program. The court heard she knew the 3 men all had mobile phones, but instead of reporting this to her boss, she decided she was going to swap thousands of calls and texts with all of them. This included intimate sexual chat and images the court heard. It is alleged that one of the men that Sarah Williams had a relationship with was responsible later on for the death and loss of life of Lenny Scott. Lenny Scott was 33 years of age and a former prison officer. He was fatally shot outside a gym in Skelmersdale, Lancashire, on the 8th of February 2024 in what the prosecutions describe as a premeditated act of revenge. Mr. Scott's story started on the 26th of March 2020 while working at HMP Alt Course. Mr. Scott discovered an illicit relationship between inmate Eliza Morgan, 35, and female officer Sarah Williams via a seized mobile phone. Morgan allegedly offered Scott $1,500 to suppress the evidence, but Scott refused and reported the matter. Following this, Morgan purposely threatened Scott and his family over several years, even warning he would get him and threatening to blow up his house. The ambush on Lenny Scott happened on February the 8th, 2024. Scott was leaving the gym at around 7:34 p.m. when a gunman in a high visibility jacket shot him 6 times, once in the head and 5 times to the body. The assailant then fled an electric bike and stashed it in a nearby area. It was then transported in a white van. The defendants in the case of Lenny Scott are Eliza Morgan, who is charged with the taking the life of Lenny Scott. He is alleged to have been the triggerman and the mastermind behind the taking of the life of Lenny Scott. The prosecution argues he orchestrated the attack following years of threats and resentment over the incident of the mobile phone. Anthony Cleary, who's 29, faces charges of taking the life of Lenny Scott and alternatively manslaughter. He is accused of assisting Morgan by delivering the van and electric bike to facilitate the taking of the life of Lenny Scott.
When Elias Morgan was a prisoner at HMP Alt Course in Liverpool and Lenny Scott was a prison officer. Mr. Scott was one of 3 officers who had been asked to go into Elias Morgan's cell to search it, and upon searching the cell he found a mobile phone. That phone was seized. Now the prosecution told the jury in this case that Elias Morgan had tried to offer Lenny Scott money to get rid of that phone. He refused to do so, and it was examined, and upon examination it was found that Elias Morgan was in a relationship with another prison officer. Now, prosecutions then followed. Elias Morgan allegedly then told Lenny Scott that he would get him. He would bide his time, he said, but he would get him. So the prosecution say that is exactly what happened then some 4 years later when Lenny Scott left the gym that night and he was shot 6 times. Today, members of Mr. Scott's family wiped tears from their eyes. They watched on from the public gallery as CCTV of the moment that Mr. Scott was shot was played before the jury. Now, the prosecution alleged that the gunman in this case used an electric motorbike to get to the scene and then to escape from the scene, and that bike was loaded onto a van that was parked in a nearby estate. And this is where the second defendant in this case comes in. The prosecution alleged that Anthony Cleary played a supporting role. They say that upon instruction, Anthony Cleary brought the van to the estate with the electric bike in the back of it. The prosecution say that he knew the van and the motorbike was to be used by the gunman to kill Lenny Scott, or at the very least cause him serious harm. He is accused of murder or an alternative count of manslaughter.
Both defendants have denied the charges, with Morgan pleading not guilty to taking the life of Lenny Scott and Clarily denying all allegations. The supporting evidence in this case and what the prosecutors have used is a mobile phone and the vehicle location data from the 3rd of January 2024, which shows Morgan's involvement in a Renaissance trip to 3 locations linked to Scott. This was his home in Prescott, the Mecca Gym, and also the Peel House Gym, the eventual ambush site. Further CCTV footage shows and captures the gunman approaching Scott inside the gym car park, confirming the timing and the method of attack. The legal proceedings continue at Preston Crown Court, where jurors are currently evaluating the full evidence. The court heard how the relationship between Morgan and Williams later prompted misconduct charges against Williams in June 2023. Both the defendants maintain their innocence, with Morgan claiming he was not involved, while Clarily insists he did not knowingly know he was an aide to an assassination plot. The jury is now hearing detailed forensic digital and witness testimonies as the trial unfolds. But one of the main key issues has been here of a resurfacing photo from 2020 where both the defendants are pictured together at a Glastonbury festival. If these two are found guilty, what do you think the punishment and penalty should be? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget our memberships are available for as little as £1.99 a month, where we will be detailing the behind the scenes of Operation Rule Britannia and also bringing you exclusive content on different locations. Make sure to smash subscribe, share the video with others and also smash the like button. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.